Welcome back, everybody. Part 5, Episode 5. Yeah, works out that way. The Empire Strikes Back. What many would consider to be the best out of all the Star Wars movies. And again, hard to argue against it. One of the best films of all time. One of the few examples of a sequel that can actually match or surpass its previous film. Godfather Part 2, Terminator 2, Dark Knight, Empire. They're kind of the 4 go-to ones for the most part. And Empire, of course, made tons and tons of influences on the cinema in general and all that kind of stuff. We're going to break a lot of different things down, but again, starting this off, first impressions, first time you ever saw Empire. What do you think, Shaun?
Again, this is when I had chickenpox, and I really enjoyed Empire because Empire is the best one because the villains actually win. And also, this is George Lucas. George Lucas has said this is the worst Star Wars film of all time.
He said that?
Yep.
Well, he doesn't know how to make a good Star Wars movie.
Apparently.
Well, this is when he decided to kind of step back a little bit. We had Lawrence Kasdan, and we had the name's escaping me. Who was the director? Crap. Gonna have to look that up in the meantime. But we had somebody else kind of take the reins a little bit, and I think that's one of the reasons why this is actually so much better, is because we don't have Irvin Kershner. There he is. Mm-hmm. We don't have some of those problems that George Lucas got into. I mean, the dialogue alone, we were bitching about the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Dialogue in this one, on point. Some of that's actually kind of improvised. Great line in the whole thing, one of the most famous lines of the whole thing. I love you. I know. Mm-hmm. Han is awesome.
Such a much better relationship.
Much better than Padme and Anakin.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No lines about sand.
It was more believable.
No creepy stares. Although he does kind of force himself on her a little bit, which is a little like, huh.
Well, to be fair, she did kiss her own brother, right?
Yeah.
She kind of snogged him in this one, right? There's no going back after that snog. All right.
Let's address that point. Clearly, this proves right here, more than anything, that Lucas did not plan everything ahead of time. If he did, it's creepy. Like, incest? Really?
I think George Lucas is just a creepy dude in general. You know, we saw what he thought was romance in episode 2.
He's like, no, you're not staring at her enough.
Yeah. You need to undress her with your eyes. Don't ever blink.
He's like, no, Hayden, I'm not just buying it. Like, you need to look at her like you love her, like she's your sister or something. That's got to be the worst thing that doesn't hold up over time. That kiss. And Luke's all proud about it afterwards. He's kind of like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So weird. It's creepy.
And the thing is, Luke apparently knew all along. He felt it all along.
Leia says she knew all along. So it's like...
So, basically, right, you knew as soon as you kissed him. It's like, you know when girls give you the speech, I like you, but I only like you as a brother. That's where this line spawned from, alright?
Leia's just like, you know, it's alright, Han. I like Luke as a brother. I mean, I'll fuck him and everything, but still... Again, deleted scene. You love him, don't you? Damn right I do. What are you guys up to in the past year? You don't want
Episode 8, The Friend Zone.
Oh god, if that's the relationship between Rey and Kylo Ren. They're like, well, we love the idea of star-crossed lovers fighting each other. We also love the sister and brother angle. I don't know, kind of combine them. Calen, when you first saw Empire Strikes Back, what was your impression?
Man, this was the first movie I ever remember watching in the theater. I was like 3 years old, and it made a huge impression on me. I loved it. I was just blown away, just visually, everything. It changed my viewpoint of movies. And then, of course, it got the toys and, all the books and magazines and, all the, records and tapes and everything. And this was the one that made me fall in love with Star Wars. I still to this day, I share the majority opinion that this is the strongest Star Wars movie they've ever made. And
So you disagree with George Lucas?
I do disagree with George Lucas.
Oh.
Yes. I think this is definitely the strongest. And I like the fact that it ends on a downer.
Mm-hmm. Different, too. Like, no movies ever really did that before. It's like, they lost?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, Han Solo is, frozen and taken away, and they're kind of, without that. So, yeah, they're kind of screwed at the end.
Well, we know two people that are screwed. Angie, when's the first time you ever saw Empire?
Oh, again, I have no idea. As soon as my mom found it and sat me down and made me watch it, I loved just the different locations and the walkers on the ice planet. Oh, I love those so much. And then the whole scene with Han Solo and the carbon freezing, that really affected me. It's just like, oh my God, that's so cool. How did they do that? And then the whole sky around Cloud City, I thought it was gorgeous. And
nice
how they did
location.
that. Yeah.
Cloud City, I don't know. I mean, I have my issues with Cloud City a little bit. I think that the name Bespin's better than just Cloud City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, well, why isn't Tatooine just like Desert City?
Sand City.
Good old sand planet. But I do like that change in the environment a little bit like that. I think that that's cool. And Hoth, Angie just brought up, the elephants on the ice kind of a thing. Awesome opening, though. Like, it makes sense that they would go to a planet like that where it's hard to find them. And why would the Empire want to go to that planet? It's a bitch to live there. And you got the abominable snowman fighting people and stuff. Good old Wampas.
Yeah, Hoth was great. I love the AT-ATs, that whole scene with the, snow speeders and the AT-ATs. AT-AT was one of those toys that I always wanted as a kid, but I can never get because it was too expensive. But I did have my favorite ship, which was in this one, and I think probably my favorite ship in all of the Star Wars universe, and that would be the snow speeder. I love the snow speeder.
Really? That's your favorite?
With the tow cable? Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Is it because of the Hoth scene, or is it just the look of it?
It's mostly the look of it. I like the tow cable part of it. I like, just the whole design of it. I think it's great.
I bet it was fun to play with, too.
Oh, plus it was fun to play with, yeah.
Does it come with a tow cable?
Yes, it does.
Nice.
I can tell you now, on Battlefront, the speeder name is ironic because they're not very fucking fast. Every time I get my ass blown up by a TIE fighter.
Well, it's better to have, like, a snow speeder than a snow slower. The marketing for that, people, it would be terrible if they called them slowers.
The snow slug.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it was in Attack of the Clones. They were little snow slugs.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a real strong introduction here. It's not an intro if you watch episodes 1 to 3, but episode 5 brings up the idea you're going to go to Dagobah and you're going to train with Yoda. Who is Yoda? It's Kermit the Frog. What?
With the voice of Grover.
Now, I was not even born when Empire first came out, but when I first got into Star Wars, the idea of Yoda to me was ridiculous. It was just kind of like, that little thing's supposed to be this great Jedi and whatever. I grew to love Yoda because Yoda's the shit, but I can't imagine at the time seeing that and thinking that that's a Jedi. Like, that must have been so jarring. Of like, what the hell is happening to this movie? That thing is a Jedi?
No, I love the fact that he looked, he was so small and weak, and that he was this powerful being that you couldn't.
So unsuspecting.
Yeah.
Like, Yoda, they did a great job pulling it off. Like, Yoda's this little thing, and it's like, it's going to lead you to this powerful Jedi, and the twist of like, well, that's the Jedi. Okay, well, you underestimate the size of your muscles aren't really the way that you're supposed to be. Like, that's not power, and I'm little, but I can lift up the X-Wing, and you can't do shit. Like, Yoda's awesome. He's weird though. Like, I don't see as much of a connection between Yoda in this and the prequels. That he's like a nut job. You know?
Yeah.
Is it just because he's spent 20 years on this desolate planet?
Maybe.
I think so. Dementia comes with old age. But yeah, I think the fact that he was isolated for so long, it's interesting because, like you said, when he first meets him, he has no idea that that's even Yoda. He's like, "Oh, I'm looking for a great Jedi Master." He goes, "Oh, you seek Yoda." He's like, "Oh, what do you know about Yoda?" And then he kind of finds how wise he truly is. So it changes his opinion and opens his eyes in that regard. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, another thing I always thought of was everything that had gone on in the Force, how the Force got so weak, and just everything that happened in those years that he was isolated.
Thankfully, with Yoda, they toned him down a lot. Because if he stayed as he was, I think we would have had another Jar Jar Binks on our hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, he wouldn't have been believable as a Jedi, too.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have just been like, mine, mine, mine the whole time, and then it would have been like, God damn, why didn't anybody kill this fucker back in the day? But I'm curious about one thing. I don't know if they've ever explained this in anything. If they have, leave it in the comments below. Please tell me. What's going on with the whole thing in Dagobah that he's got, like, the vision of Darth Vader and whatever? Like, he says that's strong on the dark side. How? And why, if it's strong on the dark side, why the fuck would you go to Dagobah?
Because it's a great hiding place.
See, I was always, before episode 3 came out, I was dead set on the idea that there was going to be some kind of a fight there or something. Like, maybe that would be the place that they killed Count Dooku, and, like, his spirit was sort of, like resonated through there, and, maybe that would be a reason why they would go there or something like that, but as far as I know, they've never given an explanation, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. Really curious.
It is a bit confusing.
I mean, I just always thought the reason why he went there was because he would, not likely to be found. There's lots of life there,
right?
But there's no technology, so he would kind of blend in.
It would just be like this trash kind of planet,
mm-hmm.
No civilization.
Would pay attention to it,
right? The dark side thing, though, that always confused me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's like, well, does he manifest that? Does Yoda know how to, like, manipulate the dark side now or something? Like, really weird.
Perhaps that's where they land to take a poop. Like that poop's got to go somewhere, right? So Dagobah is just the place where they dump all the poop.
Oh, so that kind of dark side.
Oh.
It would explain the swampy, muddy water, right?
What kind of soup
and all
are they
that
eating
bacteria.
then? Terrible. We have a reintroduction to Boba Fett if you watched episodes 1 to 3. And he's a little bit different this time around. Full-on Mandalorian armor. He hasn't learned all that much from his dad, it seems, but he's responsible for taking Han Solo away. Kind of cool. He's following in his father's footsteps a little bit. Boba Fett, though, first time people are watching him in Empire, because they didn't add him in A New Hope yet, becomes a massive character. And it's just because of the way that he looks.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah. Total badass costume.
Yeah.
And I think that something that's kind of cool, I mean, I mentioned before, when you watch A New Hope and it doesn't make sense as much because of certain things that are from the prequels and stuff, I didn't realize this until they did it in episode 2, but how similar Boba Fett's mask looks to the Stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious if maybe they did have that a little bit planned.
I don't know.
Because
I thought that was intentional, yeah.
He's got that black, like, centerpiece kind of thing. It could just be
like it's made out of the same material.
Yeah.
Do you think his son scooped out
the head
and then wore that helmet?
No, it's a different color.
He was just like, well, you could spray paint it, right?
No, you see a little shadow of the head fly out. Which is
I thought he picks it up and looks inside and sees his dad's head.
No, when they show the shot of the shadow of the head flying off, you can, like, for a split second see, like, something pop out of it. So it's like the head flies off, and then the head just flies out of that. So you gotta imagine Boba Fett is like, my dad's dead. Oh my god, he doesn't have a head anymore. And where's the head? Some people are kicking it like a soccer ball. Poor Boba.
Yeah.
We got an introduction to a brand new character, though, this time around. Smooth motherfucker, Lando. First black guy.
Oh, yeah.
And for a while, the only black guy.
Yeah.
So, funny enough, this is something I didn't know until something the other day when I was checking it out. The original idea for Lando was going to be that he was a clone.
Really?
I didn't hear that.
I didn't either.
I did not know this until a couple days ago.
I thought he was a clone.
No, the original idea was going to be that Lando, like everybody on Cloud City, they were all like Lando was kind of the template clone. I don't know if he was supposed to be part of the Clone Wars or if like maybe they were like carryover people from that or whatever like that, but he would have been like one of the clone kind of things.
I'm so glad they didn't do that.
Because they kept the line in with Han Solo saying something like, "You old dog," and then he was like, "Yeah, I haven't aged a day," or some shit like that, right?
I think he says that they haven't aged.
Mm-hmm.
Not Lando. Although Lando doesn't really age that much. If you see Billy D now, he looks pretty damn good for his age.
Billy D. Williams is the only original cast member that I've actually gotten to meet in person.
Yeah.
Is he as cool as he seems like he would be?
Oh, smooth as hell. Works every time.
Gives you a handshake and your knees go weak.
Yep.
Somehow you're drunk. What was the alcohol that he always advertised?
Colt 45.
Colt 45, that's what it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Works every time.
Lando's awesome.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm so glad they didn't go the clone route, because that would have been racist as fuck. Been like, really? Clones of the black people? People that haven't followed Clerks, by the way, if you get into Clerks and whatever, and you never saw the animated series, it only ran for 6 episodes, and it's brilliant. It's
Oh, it's
hilarious.
great.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
fantastic.
Especially episode 2, where they do a lot of jokes of like Star Wars stuff. Oh, it's cold in here. It's Hoth cold. We already made that Star Wars reference. But I love when they introduce the idea. They do the little mailbag thing, and they're reading off, and it's like, why are there no women on your show? Are you afraid of women? Yes. Okay, next question. Why are there no black people on your show? Oh, this really bugs us. So we're going to introduce a brand new character, Lando.
Yeah.
And he just pops up real quick. Hey, Randall. Hey, Lando. It's fantastic. God damn, I love that. We got a real amped up version of a lightsaber fight this time around. It's actually good, instead of the Obi-Wan one. And that leads into the moment of the movie. The number one best thing out of pretty much everything, I would say, for Empire, and that's the twist. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father, and they kept that secret. They had the line originally is in the script itself, it says Obi-Wan killed your father.
Mhm.
And then you get the real line, I am your father, and it's just I get goosebumps every time I see that. It's so good.
It was absolutely amazing. The feeling behind it and just what it did to you. The storyline.
And fair play to Mark Hamill. He did inhabit his inner Adrian Christensen when he said, Obi-Wan told me you killed him. It was pretty good. I like the comparison between the two.
I thought you were talking about the inner Hayden Christensen with a no.
No.
But let's talk a little bit about the twist in general. I mean, they kept that a secret, and the audiences must have gone nuts.
Yeah, I don't remember, since I was really young, and I saw this in the theater, I didn't remember that being like a huge thing to me because it was just like, oh, he's his father, okay. But, now in retrospect, that's a huge plot point. Something like that they would never be able to do today. And that's one of the reasons I'm actually going to kind of very minimally be on the internet in the next week because the next episode 7, is just about to be released. And so to avoid potential spoilers like that, I'm going to, keep my internet to a minimum because there's no way you could keep a secret like that these days, a secret that huge, or even something like, The Sixth Sense. They would never be able to have basically anything with a twist anymore because the internet ruins everything and spoils it.
Spoiler alert, Bruce Willis is dead all along.
He's
I'm
been
so
dead the
glad
whole
I
time
didn't
in The
know
Force
about
Awakens?
that.
Fuck.
Plus, he's actually Kaiser Soze? What?
70's gonna be a Homer Simpson, right? Coming out of that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or the person going by the line outside the bookstore with a megaphone. Snape kills Dumbledore.
Oh, I laughed so hard at that video.
OMG, Kylo Ren is actually Luke's
Jar Jar.
son.
See, the little thing that they referenced on The Simpsons, that idea that Homer would go out and just go, oh man, what an ending. I can't believe that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father. And everybody's just like, oh, fuck, or whatever. That scene inspired me to do the same thing for like every movie now.
Yes.
Although I just make the same jokes every time.
With fake ones, yes.
Yeah, every single movie is they all die at the end. It all turns out to be a dream. Like, it's just no matter what. I'll go into like, I don't know, The Good Dinosaur and be like, oh, did you guys hear that at the end of The Good Dinosaur? It's all a dream and they all die. Like, just, same thing every single time or whatever.
I did it with the current Avengers film. I actually did it. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they killed Quicksilver off.
No, you actually told them the real
I actually did that, yeah.
Oh, shame on you.
People wasn't best pleased. People were not best pleased.
It is kind of funny, though, that, like, people sort of, if they get to know that you do these jokes, if you throw the real one out there every once in a while, you get them still. Like, I don't know, like, if you were watching that and you make enough jokes of they all die at the end or whatever, then you eventually see a movie where they all die at the end, and you're like, they all die at the end. They're like, I know that Tony makes this joke all the time. What the fuck, they all die at the end?
But at least they didn't truly believe
You
it.
son of a bitch.
So I'm going to throw out a couple of those things when it comes to standing in line in The Force Awakens. I'll tell the audience, I'll be just, they're all standing around. So, did you hear that this happens in the movie? Be like, did you guys hear about that scene where Jar Jar is still in the Senate?
Just like whisper it to whoever you're with, just a little too loud.
Just loud enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Be like,
OMG, this new Star Wars film is part of Interception.
What's interception?
Inception?
Yeah.
Same shit. Innit?
Well, then that's when people overhear and they go, what's interception? And you go, oh, you didn't hear about the sequel to Inception?
Turns out it was a dream within a dream within a dream.
Well, see, my go-to other joke I can't make in this one, which is anytime that there's a number, you got to deal with the whole thing, like District 9. Oh, man, I didn't see the first District 8, or the Fantastic Four. I didn't see the first 3. I can't do that with Episode 7.
7? Yeah. I
didn't see the first 6.
Oh,
Well, you should have.
Well, I'm sure this is going to be some people's first Star Wars movie ever.
Yeah. Which is going to be weird and wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, it might be a good standalone movie.
That's true. Still, I would have, like, if I had a kid, I would just force him to watch 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and then go to the 7.
Yep. That's the way to do it.
That's the best way. Having marathoned 1 to 6, the best way is 4, 5, 6.
I think this is going to be my nephew's 3 years old, and this is going to be his first movie in the theater.
Nice.
So, but he loves the other 6 Star
Space.
Wars movies.
Yeah.
Well, he every time he comes over, he's like, pulls my Star Wars DVDs off the shelf, and he's like, which one should we watch now?
Oh God, he did that. He was like only 2.
Every single time he comes over, he's like, Star Wars.
And
Like,
we
he
actually
loves
we
it.
put it on.
Oh yeah, we've
and-
watched Star Wars with him several times.
Which
Oh,
one
that
does
was
he go
so
for the
cute.
most?
He likes them all about the same.
Yeah. If
I'd-
he sees it, he'll
I'd
grab it.
say Episode 4, A New Hope, though, is the one that he goes to most.
Smart kid.
Yeah, my mom forced me to watch these, before I even
Forced?
remember.
But
And Star Trek, and just she loves space in general and like sci-fi.
So this is off topic, but did you ever have to get when you were a kid? Did you ever get forced to watch 2001?
I think I watched that on my own.
never seen it.
hard as hell to get through, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend to everybody out there. If it takes you 2 times to watch it, I understand. But it's, yeah, by the end of watching that movie, you're as blown away as you are with the Darth Vader twist on this one. It's just, oh man, it's so good. But can't talk about that forever. We're going to wrap this up. Empire Strikes Back, 0 to 10 scale. Anything else you want to throw out there? Shaun?
He has disappeared.
I was muted. My bad. From
You still
one-
just, it's his father?
Oh man, I'm so shocked. From 1 to 10, I'd give this the perfect score.
Perfect 10.
Perfect 10.
You're
Ty
the old
Dillinger
Ty
10.
Dillinger.
Oh fuck.
People that aren't into wrestling right now are like, the fuck is Ty Dillinger?
Yeah.
Is that a new Jedi?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Jedi Master Ty Dillinger. Sounds like one.
It sounds like one, yeah.
Better name than Poe
Um,
Dameron.
The reason I gave it a perfect 10 is number 1, the villains win. Number 2, the spaceships are pretty badass. 3, Hoth. I love the planet Hoth. It's different. 4, the whole carbonite scene. That's pretty cool. And 5, the twist. And it's the first time I ever seen somebody's hand getting chopped off, which was pretty cool.
Man.
And ever since then, I always wanted a robotic hand. But since I've grew up and I know all about these robotic hands and shit, I'd rather not. I'd rather keep my own.
Yeah.
Calen, what are your thoughts? 0 to 10.
This is my favorite movie of all time. So I'm giving this, for all the same reasons that Shaun said and everything that we discussed so far, this gets my perfect 10. There's not really much I could say to improve this one.
Angie, round us out.
I agree with everybody, and for myself is a perfect 10, but in general, I'm going to have to give it a 9.5 because you need to see the other movie.
That's a good point. You beat me to it. Because I was going to give it the same thing. This is about like a 9 or so too, on the same, it's on par with A New Hope, and it makes it so much better.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
True,
I actually
it's-
forgot to mention the
it's not a
tomato
sti-
meter.
Oh. go
It's just a tiny bit above A New Hope. They both have a 94 for the critics. A New Hope has a 96 for the audience, and Empire has a 97.
Ooh,
Just 1% higher for one half of the score.
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I put them almost on the same page. You know, like I said, episode 4 definitely is the best standalone film. But if you're looking at the overall arc of all 6 of them, this one I believe is the strongest. But within context of the other ones.
Right, yeah. Because without the other ones to bookend it and stuff, it just, not as much.
Yep.
Still a great movie, though.
Mm-hmm.
So we have one more left to do. That is Return of the Jedi, Episode 6, Part 6, coming up next. Stay tuned, everybody.